Hey Pathway family, I'm really excited. I'm sitting here with Dale and Candace Wiebe, the directors of Winkler Bible Camp. They're from our congregation. We want to support their ministry like we do anybody else who's serving in ministry that is in our congregation. So what you're about to experience is an interview we did with Dale and Candace to find out more about their ministry, their hearts, and I just can't wait for you to experience this. Well, Dale and Candace, we're here. We want to talk about your ministry because we love you guys and we love the ministry that you're in. But for those people who don't know who you are, tell us, what's your background?
Well, we both grew up in the Altona area. I grew up in the village of Somerville, and that's where I started farming. And I was farming when Candace and I met. And we were married in '88, and we have 3 children before we went into ministry, Tanisha, Allie, and Bowen. And we farmed for 12 years as a couple before moving in that direction of ministry.
Now, Candace, you guys had a bit of a life journey in coming into ministry, right? Like there's people don't just say one day, hey, I want full-time ministry, right? And so can you tell me a little bit about what was kind of going on with life that caused you guys to move in that direction?
Well, Dale had kind of stepped away from family and husband and church and he was physically there, but he just was not emotionally anything present in those aspects of our lives. And I remember one day I told him, like, babe, I miss you. I miss the Dale that I fell in love with and married, and you're just boring. Something needs to change.
No, okay, so just out of curiosity, has he gotten any more exciting?
Yes.
Okay,
I got my old Dale back. And now he's old yet too. So no, and then so we decided we went away for a weekend, and I said to him, would you be okay if we fasted and prayed for this weekend, over this weekend? It's something we'd never done before. We were in a Bible study. We took our Bible study along and spent the weekend praying and fasting, and came home. And the very next day he went to see the loans
Officer, bank manager.
Yeah, the guy, once a year, you just kind of, where are things at? How are things going? And he came away from there telling me that I know what we need. I know what needs to change. Me thinking, yeah, good, finally. I'm going to get my old Dale back. And he says, we need to quit farming. I said, no. You got the wrong message from God. You go talk to him again, because I like farming and we're not quitting. But he was very kind and very patient with me and let me wrestle it out with God for about a week until I finally submitted and said, I do not understand, but if this is what you feel we're supposed to do, then I will follow you. So that was in 2000, and that was about a 1.5 year journey that it took us on, trying to figure out what that looked like. You don't just quit farming one day. And in the meantime, we had brought in 3 couples that we really respected and valued in our church, and met with them, 3-4 times, about every 3 months, and asked them to pray for us. And we knew they would speak life and truth into our lives and be honest with us when we were pursuing things, because there were different directions we went, and they just said, Candace will hate that, or Dale, you'll die in that kind of job. And it was so healthy and beneficial for us. But we were probably at about a 1.5 year point when still not at all clear where we were going. Dale was going to Bible school.
And I actually thought farming was going well.
Yeah,
it was really going well, and I thought, well, maybe we're just supposed to give it up to get it back.
Yeah.
Sure. Here, Lord, here's my farm. Oh, you can have it back now that you submitted. No idea, but that was clearly not the case.
Yeah. So at about that 1.5 year point, we just kept saying all along, we are submitting, Lord, whatever you want, but we were headed in completely different directions in where we felt God was calling us, until one of these couples said to us at one of those meetings, you know what? You guys are saying you're submissive, but it's lip service. You are not at all on the same page, and God will not show you where he wants you to go until you truly submit. And so about a week later, I remember we're renovating our house, and I said to him, you know what? They're right. We need to
We
We
have
need
our
to submit.
we're submitting, but we seem to have our own agendas
Yeah.
on this thing.
We're submitting
We
with
both
this.
know where we want to
yes,
go.
Lord, but.
Right, and then our preferences kind of kick into
Yeah.
the mix in that way.
And so we sat down right there and we prayed and asked each other's forgiveness, asked the Lord to forgive us, and said, okay, we're serious now. And then I think that next day.
Within a few days, that was a Saturday. We're having breakfast. Tanisha mentioned something about working at camp as a family instead of sending the kids to camp. That same day, I connected with Ray Wheeler, who I've never met before. Monday, he connected with me, said the board said I should hire you guys. That Friday, we brought our kids here to the camp in this building, and we had a conversation with Ray and Dorothy and committed to 3 weeks
3 weeks
of, we have no idea about anything, where this place is or
starting
anything.
up their
Starting
site.
up Mission Point on Shoal Lake. And that's where we committed to. And we committed to that summer, and that went from 3 weeks to all the way through till September. And that was amazing. That was just a completely unique journey. And then that fall, we thought I would go back to Bible school and continue on, because
Yeah, and then they said, would you guys stay on? So we stayed on just to help run that site, and Dale did
that's right.
project manager here and stuff, and so that was how we got involved in Winkler Bible Camp.
And that was 3 years of that.
So it's 3 years of that, it gives you a really good indication of the kind of ministry that you gravitate towards, and I'm guessing you're kind of honing skills and that sort of idea. So the board comes to you, Ray and Dorothy, they resign, they're moving on to other things, and the board comes to you and they said, hey, would you consider being the camp director for Winkler Bible Camp? Now, that must have been a conversation you may not have necessarily been prepared for. So what did that look like for you guys in making that decision to become the new directors?
Well, we laughed and said no.
Okay.
Because again, we had done that for 3 years and thought the next step made sense, that Dale would go back to Bible school and then see where the Lord would lead us.
Yeah.
That was our plan for that fall. But they were
insistent that we at least apply.
Yeah.
And so we felt not ready, we weren't prepared for this. We don't have the gifting to do all of this. We're not ready for this, don't have the experience to do all of this, but they asked that we just apply.
So we wrestled through that a lot, went back and forth, and finally said, okay, again, something we'd never done before, but we laid out a fleece. 3 things that needed to happen this particular day.
That's a Thursday, I remember that.
And if these 3 things happened, then we would be faithful and put our names in.
Right.
And of course, never having done a fleece, we thought this was kind of a joke, and we're like, well, it's not going to happen. We had put one so impossible out there that we were like, it's just never going to happen. I think by 4 o'clock that afternoon, all 3 had happened.
Wow.
And I remember the last one happening, and I came from the office around to the house we lived in at that time, and I was just tears in my eyes. And I came to Candace and I said, here's what happened. We have to put our name in. And it's up to them if they want to hire us or not. But we have to submit to this.
Actually, I think what we said is, well, God is funny. Probably all he wants us to do is just put our names in. We just need to be obedient.
Yeah.
Like, they're never going to hire us.
Right.
So we did. Put our names in and just prayed like crazy that clearly the Lord had his hand on this, because we're like, we don't know what we're doing.
We don't have this kind of experience.
Yeah. And then we were hired.
And we were hired.
And you were hired.
And that was
And
in 2005.
Yeah.
so that's
January 2005, you became.
Yeah. So that's quite a few years that you guys have been connected in some fashion to Winkler Bible Camp, whether by Mission Point or by being the directors. And so over the years, I am guessing you've had a lot of experiences that when you reflect back on them, you sit here and you say, you know what? Yeah, that's why we keep doing this. Would you be willing to share with us like one of those stories? Like one of those instances where something took place and you were able to say, yes, that's why we do this?
Do you have a specific story? Because I have a general story.
I have. This happens to me on a few occasions because it's mine's short, so you can share yours too. But I do come to the point often over the years where you just wonder why you're doing what you're doing. Should you be here? Why, Lord, help me understand this again, especially when things are tough.
Mm-hmm.
You sit there and wonder, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why are we in this? Because it's hard. But over and over again, and I've seen this so often, and I've seen this last year, where I see young people, primarily the 18-year-old to 24-year-old college age, the people that come here year round, I see those young people making huge life decisions that are healthy and strong and right. And they're because they were here with us at Winkler Bible Camp, and we worked through that. We worked through life. And then when I see these young people making good, wise choices in their life as they learn to walk with Christ, man, then I walk away going, this is good. I love watching that happen. For me, that's just, I'm good to go. And that happens often.
Sure. That's
So,
awesome. How
what
about you,
for you?
Candace?
Well, it's basically that, but I think it's like every summer is a reset. You're tired. You've worked hard all year. Summer comes, and you see those kids on site. You see our staff pouring into their lives, telling them the saving grace of Jesus, and the excitement, the buzz that is here in summer. It's like it's a reset every year, and you're like, yep, this is why we're here. And COVID has been the perfect, like, people ask how you're doing, and we're like, great. The only thing missing in our lives is summer camp. That's why Winkler Bible Camp exists. And if we can't do summer camp, then we would feel like, why are we here?
Right.
So no, it's summer. It's seeing, again, I love the kids and the stories that we get to hear from the kids, but seeing our staff move and grow from campers to LDPs to staff is just like, there's nothing that, it just gets us revved up every year. And come September, we're like, okay, team, let's go, because we made it through another year, and it's always exciting.
And there's just something about watching people's journey, isn't
Oh.
there? Right? Like that whole
Yeah.
discipleship process, and
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm a dad in the area, right? My kids have come to Winkler Bible Camp. I love the camp. I love you guys. You know, we have an awesome relationship. And I know that you have this incredible heart for everyone who comes on site, whether they're on staff, whether it's a camper, whomever it is, you guys have this enormous heart for them. And sometimes I wonder if there's opportunity for you to express that. So I'm just curious, if you could express one primary desire for anybody who comes on site, the children, the youth, the staff that comes on for the season, if you could express one primary desire for them at Winkler Bible Camp, what would it be? Like, what's the one big takeaway you want them to have from having been here?
Mine would be, keep following God. So kids come here and hear the message of Christ, God, our Creator, our Savior, and there's so much diversion going on in the world today, and there's so many options and so much confusion, and everything's murky. Trust God. Trust God. You said you wanted to follow Him. Trust Him. So as they leave at 12 or 15 or 17 and keep walking that journey, don't quit trusting God.
Right.
And they meet Him here in such a wonderful way that's culturally unique for them, and the environment is safe, and it's a great, great place. And that's why so many people come to their faith and experience Christ in such a unique way here at camp because of all of that. So it's a beautiful setting for that. But for them that come, just keep believing, because you lean on Him. He won't let you down. Keep trusting. This is just a piece of it as well.
Yeah.
Right.
But a very, as we see it, and every fall I get, every fall, September to December, when churches are having baptism classes, and we see, and half of the kids out of every baptism service are talking about a camp experience. You see the power of it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And so keep growing, keep learning, keep moving. It's just
love
good.
it. Love it. Hey, if people wanted to connect with you and your ministry, how would you like them to go about doing that?
Call us.
Call us.
Just give us a shout.
Just give us a
Call.
shout.
Just call.
We're always up for conversation.
Yeah, our phone number's on the website.
There you go. That's great. So, because we want to be able to be a church that's encouraging and supportive of the people that are serving. And so thanks, guys. I really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to be able to do this with us. And we're looking forward to just seeing how your ministry flourishes.